Ever stop and think about how something about you right now could have totally changed your past? You know, we all have those what-if moments. Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. A really powerful and actually pretty simple way English lets us talk about that stuff.
All right, check out this sentence. It sounds totally normal, right? But think about what it's doing. A present-day fact, being scared of flying is literally reaching back in time and changing the past. It's like this little piece of grammatical time travel, which is super cool, and we're going to unpack exactly how it all works. So, what's the secret sauce here? Well, the magic is all about building a bridge. We're connecting two completely different timelines, the reality of right now and this imagined, hypothetical version of what could have been.
Okay, so let's break that first sentence down. On one side, you've got the present reality. I am scared of flying. That's a fact, right now. Then, on the other side, if you flip that fact, boom, you get a totally different past. I would have been to more places. See that connection? A present thing creates a brand new, imagined past. All right, let's do one more just to make sure this really sticks. Let's say, if Bully wasn't so clumsy, he would have made an excellent barista. The reality? Bully is clumsy. But what if he wasn't? Well, then in this imaginary past, he would have made an amazing barista. It's the exact same pattern, you see? A now thing directly changing a then thing.
Okay, so I think we get the idea, right? But how do you actually build one of these sentences yourself? Don't worry, you don't need a grammar textbook. Just think of it like a really simple recipe with just a couple of key ingredients.
And yeah, if you're curious, this recipe has an official name. It's called a mixed conditional. Specifically, the kind that connects the present to the past. But honestly, the name isn't the important part. What's important is knowing how to use it, right?
So let's get into the recipe itself. It's super simple. First, you start your condition with if. Easy. Then, the verb that follows is in the past simple. If I were, if he liked, you get it. Now for the second half, the result. And this is the key bit. You're always going to use would've or would've, plus that past participle. So would have been, would have enjoyed, that's the formula.
Okay, we've got the recipe. Now let's put on our detective hats and see if we can spot it out in the wild. This is how you go from just knowing a rule to really mastering it. All right, look at this one. If Phil liked exercise, he would have enjoyed PE class more at school. So let's check our recipe. Do we have the if clause with past simple? Yep, liked. Do we have the result with would have plus the past participle? Yep, would have enjoyed. Perfect. A present fact, he doesn't like exercise, is changing a past memory. It's a perfect fit.
How about this one? If I were a more organized person, I wouldn't have missed the meeting. It's the same deal, right? A present personality trait, being disorganized, connects straight to a specific past event. You can probably already feel how useful this is for talking about regrets or just kind of thinking about how things could have gone differently.
Okay, you ready for a cool little trick? You don't always have to start with if. You can actually flip the whole sentence around, put the result part first, and guess what? The meaning doesn't change one bit.
For example, I would have got a main part in the school play if I were a better singer. See what we did there? The result, I would have got, comes before the if part. It means the exact same thing, but it gives you way more flexibility, makes you sound a little more natural, you know?
All right, so we've cracked the code on the idea, we've learned the recipe, and we've seen it in action. Let's do a quick wrap-up so you can get out there and start using this powerful tool yourself.
So what's the big takeaway? The bottom line is this whole thing is just a bridge. It connects a present fact to an imagined past. And that recipe is your golden key. If plus past simple on one side, and would have plus the past participle on the other. You get that down, you've got the whole concept.
Okay, so I want to leave you with a question. Now that you know how this works, what's one thing you would have done differently in your past if, right now, you were a more organized person? Give it some thought, because you now have the perfect grammatical tool to talk all about it.